Stop chasing. Look, it's Marcel, aka Honey Bunny Sunny, and I'm on a mission to make you some money. Listen, if it's your first time on my channel, welcome. Listen, I just need you to do one thing for me. All right, I got tons of value for you. I just need you to do one thing. Just be like, dude, hit that like button. Dude, it's really, you know what? It's crazy. Like us creators, right? The one thing that we need from you is just the likes, right? The likes help us get into the algorithm and for more people to see it. And it's so simple, but some people guard it with their life. If I'm giving you any value, just do. That's all I ever ask you. All right? So if you could just do for me, we good. All right? All right, let's get into it. So today, I got this motorcycle gang around me. So today, this thought came to me, right? Because I was having this conversation about AI with a few people. And AI is really, 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 really getting extremely good to the point that a lot of people are not able to distinguish. And we're only a couple of years into AI as it pertains to it being open to the public, right? It's always kind of existed. Not always, but it's existed for quite some time in other ways. But now that it's on the retail side, right, where you can just get a subscription to something to do pretty much anything you needed to do, right? ChatGPT, HeyGen, Lovable, all these different platforms, right? So as we're talking, I'm realizing, like, you know what? All these skillful jobs are starting to go away. And all these things that people spent so much money to learn how to do could possibly be replaced in the near future. What does that mean? What does that mean for humanity at large? What does that mean for people that have been working so hard to develop certain skill sets? And if so many jobs are going away, are they replaced with new jobs? Or do we get to a place where what Elon Musk has been ranting about actually becomes our reality, where there's a universal basic, what he calls high income, but high is relative, right? If everybody's getting something, you can't necessarily call it that anymore. But again, that to me, I don't necessarily agree with that, and I don't want to go deep into the political side of everything. But what I want to get to is the fact that AI will take away a lot of skillful jobs, so the new skills are going to be humanity. And I don't want to use the word authentic because, you should be authentic regardless. People been throwing that word around like it's, I hate when people get a hold of a certain word and it's just over you. You should be doing you regardless. But humanity is going to be a skill. Your intangibles, right? Your character, your intuition, your creativity, all of these God-given things are going to be what are skills in the future. They're going to be the things that are, yes, AI can be, quote, creative, yes, but there are certain things about us that it won't be able to capture. There's little nuances about humanity that it won't be able to capture. On the surface, yes, but it's still manufactured consciousness. Now, I want you all to understand that there are little things that we do each day that kind of chip away at our humanity. And I want to just kind of like place a little warning out there to maybe start considering that as you're embracing AI, right? Start thinking about, in what ways is this little activity that I'm doing on a consistent basis chipping away at my humanity, right? Chipping away at my intelligence, right? If you find yourself becoming too dependent on AI, at some point, you may experience deep depression and feeling useless, right? This is where heart comes in. This is where it's important to start tapping into who you are as an individual, who you are as a consciousness. If you're not thinking along these lines, it's possible that you are food. It is possible that you will be a lifetime consumer, a lifetime with the program type of person. You don't want that. You want your unique qualities and your individuality to shine through, right? You want to be able to feel. A lot of this stuff will be stripped from you if there is not an effort to make sure that you keep your humanity intact. There's also a large demographic of people who are being born into this stuff who still, as humans, will feel and still experience like low vibrations, like, you know, depression and things like that, but they won't be able to necessarily place exactly where it's coming from. They won't be able to place why they're feeling a certain way, and it's going to take people who have, you know, the skill set of being a human, right? Possibly people who've been here, who were born before all of this was here, to be able to initiate people into what it's like to be fully human and connected to yourself, right? This is just a thought that came to me, right? This has nothing to do with trading necessarily, but I've really been just seeing how this concept has people more afraid than anything new that's been introduced since I've been alive. I'm 37 years old, right? Since I've been alive, I've never seen this much fear surrounding a new technology. And when you look at the pace at which people are, you know, like letting people go, you know, from their jobs, it is pretty staggering, right? So what do you do, right? I truly believe that trading, investing, is something that will be around until the end of time. However, there are a lot of jobs that may not be around, and we are going to essentially become a gig society where who you are is what's going to get you paid, right? Who you are is what's going to get you paid. I think for the first time in history, we are going to see millions of entities created out of likeness, right? Like you being the business. And it may not be any employees. It may just literally just be you talking to a screen or hosting, you know, some sort of community or whatever. But the traditional way that we've been taught to make money may be very, very different in the next 5 to 10 years. And I want you to prepare for that. This is not, I'm not fear mongering, right? Like I'm not trying to sell you anything. So I'm not here trying to make you fearful, but I'm here to, you know, just kind of keep you, you know, up on what's taking place, right? It's subtle things that make like huge changes over time, and it being subtle is the reason that it slides by so many people, because it's just a little small thing daily. It's just a little small habit daily of outsourcing your humanity to a machine. Just a little bit every day. Just a little bit every day. And when you look up, like I said, you're facing depression. You're facing these different mental conditions, and not quite sure where to place it. Right? You can't really track what went wrong. Your life seems like it's together, but for some reason, it just feels a little off. Right? What I recommend, like I said, in addition to, you know, maintaining your humanity and all of that stuff, not outsourcing everything to AI, also getting in nature, also spending time, you know, by yourself, also spending time with community, right? Also making sure that you are using all the different, I would say like human emotions. Like you're spreading love, right? You're experiencing love. You're giving. You're receiving, right? You're laughing. And doing these things like independent of like the internet, like doing this completely offline, autonomous, right? This, I believe, is going to keep your soul intact. And it seems like, all right, that may not be a big deal, like, because everybody's talking about how much AI can fix your life. But if you have any sort of wisdom, you understand that speed does not mean better, right? Faster does not mean better when it comes to human beings. There's so many other variables. There's so many other things to take into consideration. Like, you can be going nowhere fast, right? You can be going towards destruction fast. So speed is not necessarily better. Sometimes even slowing down is actually the better choice when you're not sure about something, because you have a better chance of adjusting, right? You have more time to analyze and adjust, on the go. So it's just some thoughts. I know, it's a little scrambled, right? I didn't make this video, with any sort of script. I didn't, get on here with any sort of like polished thing in mind. But this is just something that's been on my mind, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. Like, where are you at in the AI movement? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Definitely put them down in the comments. I want to keep this conversation going, right? Because there's a few other things that I want to talk about, but I'll keep this video, right around where it is, 12 minutes. And then, depending on the comments that come in, we can expand the conversation. All right. Listen, remember, invest smart, live free. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.